The first newspaper printed in America dates back to 1690, and newspaper organizations have thrived since then. Now, there are less newspaper stands and more magazines covering things like celebrity gossip and entertainment. SF Public Press, a new independent nonprofit news organization, has recognized this issue and is acting upon it.
We started this organization as a nonprofit because there's been a decline in the commercial news organizations, and specifically in commercial press, commercial newspapers, not only in the Bay Area but around the country.
Their mission is to enrich civic life in San Francisco and the Bay Area. Executive Director Michael Stoll explains how.
We want to cover stories that are undercovered in the commercial press and serve audiences that are underserved.
SF Public Press publishes stories every day on their website and does a printed newspaper 4 times a year.
There aren't a lot of organizations out there who are starting up now and doing something like putting out a print publication, especially doing local news coverage. It helps bridge the digital divide. It helps us get the news into the hands of people who don't have broadband internet access at home.
The Public Press is an advertisement-free paper, which means the gain of loyalty from their readers.
The funding is not going to come from advertising, which is how most newspapers have operated for generations, but rather on building trust with the audience and having more of a relationship with the readers.
This also means more room for creativity.
Because there are no ads, we actually can squeeze a lot more news into a very small paper.
To fulfill their public service mission, SF Public Press distributes their quarterly papers to senior homes and community centers throughout the Bay Area. I actually got a chance to tag along.
People in San Francisco really care about the city, and they really care about their neighborhoods, and they usually, want to know, and they know that like the mainstream media may not cover everything that they need to know about. And so I do think that people have responded so far. Whenever I drop off papers or talk about the paper, just doing distribution, or it's been usually a really warm response.
I would love to see something like what we're doing take off and be replicated in other communities around the country. I don't see why you couldn't have a public press in Oakland or San Jose or Santa Rosa or New Orleans or Chicago or Mumbai. It's all the same. The idea is that the community ought to be able to take control of its own media.
There are many ways to get involved at SF Public Press.
We like hearing from people, so anyone who's interested in getting involved, I hope they'll reach out to us.
SF Public Press relies heavily on volunteers and donations.
You sign up on this form, you fold it, you put the check in, you put it in the mail.
In San Francisco, I'm Devin for Academy of Art University's K-Art News.